Allison Gardner here, and I am going to be incredibly upfront and open and honest and say that this video is slightly terrifying me. Because I really love being a sage on the stage and presenting a fully formed thought and with tips and techniques and ideas. And that's not what these videos and that's not what this journey is about, because this journey was figured out a step at a time and was survived a step at a time. And so for me to present it as though it's some complete thought is a bit of a, I don't know, a lie, but a definite misrepresentation. And so I want to share this from my heart with as much truth and accurate representation as I can. And for me, this video is following up about last week's video, supporting the supporters of mental illness, because that really is an unknown field and an unknown depth that not many people understand or not many people go for. Because it's awkward. I mean, I tell people that my husband struggles with mental illness and they run away rather rapidly. I apologize for the baby crying in the background. I was trying to get out of my comfort zone to share this because it's very out of my comfort zone. So here I am out in a public place with not a lot of people around. So this is a follow-up to that video because a lot of people don't understand. I know that my family didn't, and they understood that I was struggling and they understood that I was having a hard time, and so when I would share that I was struggling with something or I was frustrated about something or I was really sad about something, that was when I heard, well, just smile, or you're strong, or count your blessings, or be happy. And I know they are coming from a place of love, but I was not in a place where I could do that. I was not in a place where I didn't feel like I was in a place where I could just choose that and do that and embrace that. And so my video about choosing to be neutral, because I didn't feel like I could go from down here to up here. That felt very impossible and very far away from me. And so, but I could just choose neutral. I could just choose to see the best in my circumstance. Well, I could just choose to not think about or make comparisons about my circumstance because it hurt. I was very vague in my last video and I realized that that does not represent me well. I was hurting because I saw a spouse who was in pain most days. And the conversations we had were about not being good enough, were about not being smart enough, not being capable enough, not being friendly enough or outgoing enough. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. And the only reason why I can make these videos is because we're both in a better place now. We have both healed a lot in this journey. Am I naive enough to think that that will never happen again? No. That we'll never have those things come up again? I know it's a possibility, but I also know that it doesn't have to happen again either. And I know that I'm in a better place. And so I can share now because I am in a better place. And I have more hope. And I know that I have the tools that I need to face what's coming. And so that's what I share, is the tools that I had. And so I was in this dark place, having had those conversations with my spouse so many times, going to church alone so many times, going to social outings alone so many times, having fear some days that he wouldn't be home when I got back. And after facing that for so long, I felt like I didn't have a choice. I felt like I couldn't be happy. I felt like I was trapped and I was stuck. And so to share some of those feelings in a very minute detail and having people say, just count your blessings, couldn't see my blessings anymore. couldn't see the good, and I was stuck in a victim mentality, stuck in this idea that the world was pouring so much on me and that there was nothing I could do to resist, and there was nothing that I could do to change it. And victim mentality is contagious, and it can crop up in so many ways. It still shows up in my life sometime. Now, for me, the definition of a victim mentality is this mindset that life is unfair and that too much is being asked of you. And I get it. If you feel like too much is being asked of you, I'm not going to argue with you. But I also know that that feeling is contagious and can overwhelm you and can take away whatever control that you actually do have in a situation. And that can show up in as simple as a place of making phone calls. Making phone calls has never been my favorite thing. I always feel a little bit awkward. I have always felt a little bit weird about it. And it's not my husband's favorite thing either. And I don't know that we have ever rock, paper, scissored to decide who was going to make a phone call. But we have, generally I just did it because I knew that it had to get done. And so even today, we were calling to figure out where we could get emissions done for our car. I had that thought and that feeling creep up inside me again. Like, how come you're the one that has to do this? How come you have to go and put yourself forward and put yourself out there? And it can be so small and insidious and tiny and just kind of creep into your thinking and make you feel, oh, woe is me, life is hard. And I know this is a really silly and funny example. I totally get it, because I was laughing at myself when I saw it happen. But it was so real to me until I went, I am an actor. I am an agent unto myself, and I want to get the emissions checked on my car so that I can get it called in and I can get it taken care of. That is not unfair. That is not bad. That's not mean. That's just me taking care of life, taking care of business. So I called him. I set up an appointment. I'm going to take my car in on Thursday. But that's a funny one. What are you going through right now that isn't so funny? That does feel a lot harder and a lot more painful. The only thing that got me through those moments was realizing that it wouldn't always be that way. So if you're in that spot and people are telling you to just be happy, don't. Embrace that for right now it feels unfair. Embrace that right now you feel like you can't do anything about it. And then after you've done those two things, to exist in that moment, I invite you to think about what is one thing that is within your control. I don't care what it is. Maybe you make your side of the bed and you only make your side of the bed. Maybe you put one dish in the dishwasher. Maybe you choose one happy thought and compliment that you give yourself. Whatever it is, do one thing like I did today and make the phone call. Set up an appointment for emissions testing. Whatever it is, just choose one thing that is within your control so that you know you do have a choice. And it's hard, I get it. And it's painful, I get it. And I'm there with you in this moment, sitting here on this bench. I still feel it. But there is a way out once you realize that you can control at least one thing. You get to control to take one deep breath. You get to control to do one thing around your house. Whatever it is, just choose one thing and take power from that one thing. I hope you'll join me next time for the next stage of this journey. This one was so hard to share because it is so deeply personal and there isn't one set plan. One part of it is just feeling what it is, not burying it, not hiding from it, not pushing it down or being mad about it, but just feeling. I know I've been talking a whole lot about emotions, but it's because once you can face the emotions, then there's healing. But as long as you're running from it, they're always going to keep coming up. They're still coming up for me. I just know how to handle them a little bit and face them a little bit more. I'm excited to see you next time. And if you're in a rough spot right now, please reach out. There's an email in the link below. Please email me. I want to be there for you and I want to help you, because I was in a spot where I didn't have a lot of people who understood what this looked like. And I know that your experience is still different than mine, but I will hold space for you and I'll help you any way that I can. It can get better, and while it's not, it still can be okay. See you next time, guys. Bye.